Thank you for choosing our Patio Heat channel. I'm Steve. We provide tips and information to extend the enjoyment of your patio project. Our videos give you a knowledgeable overview prior to investing in your outdoor heating equipment. Whether you are a professional or owner-builder, we provide specific details for optimum heat coverage for your application. Post a comment or question, or for developed visual designs, send your request into designs@patioheat.com. We're here to work with you. For over 30 years, patio heating is the bedrock of our business, expressing what works best. Now let's get heating. All right, so this is a residential application, and let's go ahead and look at the overall dimensions first of all. So overall dimensions I have here, basically I have 34 feet in this direction by 16-foot depth of the structure out to the outer edge of the ceiling or rooftop here. And then I also have 14-foot 8 on the inside edge of the post, 15-foot 4 on the outside edge of the post. So that does give us about 12 inches covered over here. Also, you can see that it is a sloped ceiling that I have. Now, I'm not quite sure or 100% certain that it is sloped ceiling or how much that slope truly is, but I have about 8 inches of slope. And over here you can see I have 9 feet off the finished floor for the ceiling joist, we'll call it. And that's that's actually this structural beam over here for those joists. And then I think that's about it for the dimensions that I have. Again, this does come down 8 inches further than this 9-foot section over here. So let's go ahead and turn that off and look at what type of options we could use. So basically I have really one option that I kind of like, and you could replace these with different units. The ones I have here, basically I have a 4,000 watt slimline unit. So the slimline unit is a smaller unit, meaning that it's approximately 5 inches in this direction here, and then about 3 inches tall. The other unit that is a 4,000 watt unit is 8 inches wide, so that's why I like the slimline in this particular application a little bit better, just because this 5-inch section here would be, an additional 3 inches wider, out here. So that's why I'm choosing this. But in any case, what I've done is I've placed the units centered within the span. Now I took the span from this wall here to the inside edge of this beam coming across, and then I placed the heaters centered within that span. You can see there's two different seating positions here. Both are lower or reclining and dining over here, and that's why I'm choosing the 4,000 watt above, or rather than the 3,000 watt unit. I did take a 6,000 watt CD series and placed it in here. The 6,000 watt unit is basically really too hot for this application. So you could put a 6,000 watt unit in this position. However, you do need to make sure that you have a dimmer system. I don't think a 3,000 watt would be intense enough. So using a duplex switch on a 6,000 watt really wouldn't be an ideal application as well. So that's why I'm choosing the 4,000 watt. You could go with the 6,000, but it has to have a dimming system on it, because duplex system is what I meant to say earlier. If you had a duplex system, you would only turn one element on, one element off on a 6,000 watt unit, and that just would not be warm enough the majority of times running on half power. So let's go ahead and look at a couple of the clearance issues that I'm dealing with. So you can see with the slope ceiling here, and again, that's an 8-inch drop from that edge to the outer edge over here that I have. It could be a 6-inch, it could be a 4-inch, I don't know. But the main thing is you need to make sure that you have a 6-inch clearance from the top edge of this point here to the lower edge of the slope ceiling over here. And then you'd have to make sure the heater is level. If it's not level, what will end up happening is the elements will start to droop downhill and then short out the system and cause it to break quite rapidly. So that's why you need to make sure that the heaters are level. And yeah, that's about it for that. So you could use a chain as opposed to the bracket here. That's another thing that you can think about. Now, if you were to place the heaters on these beams themselves, then that issue would become so that this bracket here really wouldn't quite fit. Let's go ahead and just move it over here for a moment, and then move it down so that it would be kind of on there. You still need that 6 inches of clearance above. Let's just go ahead and look at that above clearance. So this is the above clearance section of this particular model, and there's also a 18-inch clearance on the outside 4 ends or 4 edges of the heater, and 36 inches down below. But I'm going to go ahead and turn those back off, and this is just why you need to make that spacer here and as well as here, depending on what that slope is. So we're going to move that back to where it was. The reason why I had that where I liked it was just because of the fact that what I did was I took this distance from here to here, center to center, and then I made a distance, and let's see if I have it on here. Yeah, so we have this distance of 7 feet, and I used the center point here to go 3.5 feet to the center of the heater here, 3.5 feet to the center of the heater over here. And that's true on this side as well. So let's go ahead and look at the footprint of heat. So the footprint of heat, you can see we're getting a good overlapping in the middle. And again, this heater is really set up for this mounting height. So this is a really nice heater application for this particular project. And you can see that the coverage is heating the center section. We're missing about 1.5 feet to 2 feet here, and 1.5 feet to 2 feet from here to out here. If you're sitting out in this further area over here, then we'd have to come up with a different plan for that. But I would say utilizing 4 units is probably the best option, rather than going with extra units just to heat up a little bit more of an area over here. So that's why I'm choosing these particular units. Now, I do want to go into one further thing just to kind of get you to see this. I'm going to place in here the 6,000 watt, just so you have a clear understanding of why I believe the 6,000 watt unit would be too hot for this particular application. Let's go ahead and move this into a approximate position for this particular heater. I'm going to set it right there, and I'm going to turn these off. And just so that you can see, the intensity is really designed for about 1 foot to 2 feet higher of an application. So again, if you were to turn off one element and leave one on, that would only make it a 3,000 watt unit. So if you're going to use a 6,000 watt unit, you can. However, you would want to use a control system for it rather than just a duplex switch. So I think that's about it. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and delete that, and we'll go ahead and put those other units back on here with the rays on. And then the other thing that you might want to look at is, I'm not sure of where these true ceiling joists are. This one here is obviously too close to that, so you'd have to move this one over so that there's a 6-inch clearance on the side over here. So we can move that even a little bit more. Let's go here. So we're about 6 inches. So you're going to have to make those adjustments based on what the true distances of these ceiling joists or rafters might be. But you can see that even when I did that, it's about 8 inches of movement. We're still getting a good overlapping ray over here. So, and the reason I moved the inside one as opposed to the outside ones, because if I was to push the outside one to the left, I would be heating the outer edge here that I'm not sure if that's going to be utilized out here, but I would assume that this would be the more utilized section on the right side than the left here. And the same truth would be with this particular application over here. Moving that more in the center there. would utilize or allow the heat to be more inside as opposed to outside. So, all right, well, I hope this has helped. If you're looking for some assistance with your outdoor heating application and you'd like us to review your plans, send your information into designs@patioheat.com. I'm Steve, and please, would you consider tapping that like button? We don't advertise, not monetize. YouTube does not support our channel unless we receive a thumbs up from our viewers, and we appreciate you doing that so much. You guys have an excellent day. Thank you.